Hey everybody, Scotty from Scotty's Record Shop. Welcome to another YouTube video. This one a little unexpected and a day or so late, but nevertheless I wanted to put my input in on some of the conversations going around about the late Dave Brubeck, who passed away this Wednesday, the 5th of December 2012. Passed away at the ripe old age of 91, one day shy of his 92nd birthday. Not a bad accomplishment in itself. However, that man has left an incredible legacy. Um, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it for those. I am by no means a jazz aficionado. I do have some jazz in the wall out back here. A lot more probably jazz stuff, well, not probably jazz, a lot more jazz stuff on disc that's upstairs. Um, the reason that I wanted to do this video, though, was Dave Brubeck holds a special place in my heart because one of his albums was the very first jazz album that not only that I ever heard, but I ever owned. And it was thanks to a cousin of mine who probably at least 15 years my senior. And I'm pushing 50. So this was probably, I must have been 10 or 11 years old. I was at his house. He was always my favorite relative because he had this great stereo. And I was into that even way back then. And lots of records. And he pulled out an album and he put it on. And it wasn't Dave Brubeck's most popular record. It wasn't, everybody's talking about Time Out, and it's a wonderful record. First record to sell over 1 million copies. It had a hit single off of it, which was kind of bizarre. You've got all this early 60s pop music, and then you've got Take 5. Where that came from. You know what I'm saying? But it sold well. It made it into the top 40 from the album Time Out 1959. But the album I wanted to show you was the first album that I ever got turned on to with jazz. And it was this one. 1966 was the year for this album, and my cousin put it on, and I was like, what is this? And he's like, Dave Brubeck, it's jazz music. And it just, something about it just moved me, even at that young age. And it just so happened that he had an extra copy of it in his shed, or in the barn actually out back. There's a box full of records, and he let me rummage through it, and I found it, and I was like, wow, you know, this is really cool. And this is still the copy that he gave me. I've tried my best to care for it. It's in pretty good shape still. It's an original pressing. It's probably just as much a sentimental issue as it is a financial issue or anything. I mean, it is in great shape. I ought to check and see. I've got it on disc, CD upstairs as well. I'm kind of curious to see if this is on 180 gram. But I'm happy with this copy. I encourage people who like jazz, maybe even if you're not really totally into it, check this album out on behalf of Dave. You know, this was a wonderful record. Like I said, 1966 for the late Dave Brubeck. That's and I'm not saying that I'm a big jazz fan. I didn't go out and start buying hundreds of jazz albums, but it was my first exposure to jazz, and that was really kind of cool and really important to me. And this cousin was so cool. He also gave me a copy of Abbey Road. I mean, and it was an Apple copy, which I still have, which is really that's a cool relic right there. So anyway, alrighty, that's my little thought on the late great Dave Brubeck. Until next time, everybody, peace and love.